So we watched episode 8.
The Romance of Certain Old Clothes.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was called Original Sin.
No,
so.
The Romance of Certain Old Clothes, episode 8. Well, I may have spoken too soon about my favorite episode of the season.
Really?
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
Oh,
I thought a real lot.
Oh, wow. I thought it was only like marginally successful.
No, I thought it worked. It worked for me.
Okay.
It worked a lot for me. And it has tied together a lot of stuff.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary, but I don't think the aesthetics of it were up to par with the rest of the series. I think it looked a little cheap in a way that...
Yeah.
Because I made a comment, and it's true, but there's the scene where Perdita is in the attic and she pulls like a dress out of the chest, and I was like, that's not how those dresses work.
No. Yeah.
And I mean, mercifully we didn't have zippers, but
those dresses were like 8 or 9 pieces.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't pick up a dress
from the 1680s. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I agree with you.
There was a Spirit Halloween store quality to it that I expected a bit more.
I will allow you that.
Okay.
That being said, the like story part and the plot part really worked for me.
It was very indulgent.
Very indulgent, but like in a good way, in my opinion.
Sure, I think so.
And it was also, I would say, like probably 60% of why I liked it so much was Kate Siegel.
Really? Okay.
I'll allow it because I know that we don't want like nepotism and like you're only in this because your husband made it kind of stuff, but like I'm sad she hasn't been in this season. Like I would have liked her to be in this season like more than just this one episode, but having her be this character who is like the impetus for everything that we've seen, I think is worth it in that way. And it was only when we were watching this episode, not any of the time we were watching Hill House, that I was like, she's got kind of like an Angelina Jolie thing going. She's got a very like strong bone structure in her face, and she's got really big, like wide mouth, like lips and mouth. And yeah, that was easily what was doing most of the heavy lifting for me was her.
I like her, and I liked her a lot in Hill House. I personally thought she was acting in this, especially the first 30 minutes. There was a bit of acting talent.
Well, I mean, I think she's very good, but I also think that she has been in a lot of really low budget stuff.
Well, I appreciated the fact that they did the entire episode in black and white, but I just sort of, there was a refinement that I really wish it had that I don't think it did. And it was very long. It didn't need to be quite as long.
Well, it wasn't as long as the other episode. This one was only 56 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's a wafer thin plot that they really that padded out. And I do ultimately think that's necessary to really sell to really sell the dread and the repetition and everything.
Well, it also is just, it's such a tragedy. And I think that's what's so interesting to me about this season is it's just sad. It's just
there's
tragic.
No way to know.
Yeah.
Like there was no way that her husband and daughter would know that she's
in there
waiting. Yeah.
Well, because they even said that she like somehow just by force of will did it to herself. Like managed to become this ghost, this spirit.
It feels like an old ghost story.
It does.
I am very, very curious.
Like the one with the ribbon around her neck one. Yeah.
Well, that's from like the 80s.
Well, but you know, it feels like it's that kind of level of like mystery.
Bluebeard and yeah.
So I don't necessarily think I like this better than Hill House, but what I'm gonna say is this is a little more up my alley in terms of rewatchability, because Hill House is straight up scary. And this has way more of like a Crimson Peak vibe, and with the just like sadness, and it's just like it's like an overwhelming dread and sadness and tragedy that like you keep trying to escape and you
and
just
also romantic
can't get
though.
out. Very romantic.
Even
because she married him just to keep the manor, and then she like actually fell in love. They fell in love with each other.
But she got the manor.
She did.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. But that's the thing that where it's just like there's this inescapable like just tragedy and sadness. I can't think of another word for it that it's like no matter how hard you try, you're never going to escape that cycle.
I said dreadful, and it just sort of, and that's the part of it that is working for me is sort of the old school. Because you were in the bathroom before we were recording, and I mentioned to Will, your husband, because I frequently will be like, so this is what I kind of thought. And I was like, it's different from Hill House, and I really appreciate
I
that.
really do too.
As someone who was sort of like done dirty. I was going to say that was sort of rubbed raw by American Horror Story.
Oh, okay.
Just sort of, because that's the most obvious comparison.
Yeah.
And
anthology
it's like,
horror, yeah.
Well, it's like an American Horror Story very much just kept trying to top itself, both shock and camp wise. And I do appreciate the pivot into a different direction. And it makes me, we're dealing with Netflix, so merciful God in heaven only knows how far this train will travel.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was it.
Yeah, but I would love to see what season 4 of this show would look like.
Here's the thing. Even if Netflix is like, no more, someone else is going to hire Mike Flanagan.
I would imagine. And because I'm with Will, where it's like, I want to see The Haunting of Alcatraz.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that there are...
Stevie's other books? Yeah.
It sort of makes all the work we've done up to this point worth it. Because there was a couple episodes where I was like, I mean, I hope something's gonna pay off. And here's the interesting thing is I was thinking something was gonna pay off in like an algebra equation sort of way. And it's not that. Like there's not like a hidden secret per se. There's a little bit of that, but it's more so like it's here where you're like, oh
yeah. That's what we've been watching. That's the feeling. There's like a weight and a heaviness and just like I just keep saying inescapable because it's like it's happened so long ago.
The poor kid in the corner.
Yeah.
Like just fading away.
That's the kind of stuff where it's like, to me, this is more existentially scary and horrifying than like being haunted by like whatever this is. Like this is so much more dreadful, and it just like makes me feel bad on the inside.
It doesn't make me feel bad, but it is very
well. I mean, it makes me feel good because it's like excellent storytelling.
I want to take a nap.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh god,
I want to sleep and forget, and then wake and then walk. I really resonated with Viola.
I really felt Viola, but that's the thing is it just makes me want to like be like, I need to think about this for like 45 minutes minimum.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a lot of plot. It just was the original sin.
Sort of.
I was a little bit thrown by Perdita, but I guess not. I guess that's almost like I'm halfway through the episode. I was like, man, I really wish that we had telegraphed some of these twists. And then I was like, I don't know. In life, it's scariest. And they're frequently being like, he was a great neighbor. Like, we had no idea this was coming.
Well, but I mean, because we got a lot more narration in this episode than we have in the past. But
heavy lifting from Carla Gugino.
Yeah. But it is, I mean... It is mercy, partially.
I did enjoy the mercy.
Yeah.
And then enough.
Yeah. So like you can understand how they thought she was going to die 5 years ago and she just didn't die. And then it's like, not only is she continually closed fist punching her sister in the face, but she's also like, and also you can't have any fun at all without me. And it's just sort of like, Jesus Christ, what are we supposed to do?
I really resonated with.
I understand, but it is sort of sad and upsetting that she just was like, you should have already died. This could have already been over. But in doing so, she's signed her own death warrant because she smothers her.
A lot of self-fulfilling prophecies. Also, accept your final rights. Like, just accept them, even if you're not particularly religious.
Don't believe. Just maybe do it.
Because then you won't get trapped in a cupboard. Although you were talking about trunk.
Yeah.
You were talking about how badly you want a trunk with 9 keys.
I said 7.
7, okay.
7 is a mystical number.
9 is, well,
But,
yeah.
I don't know. It just was cool. She had to like open them all in the right order with the right keys. It was neat.
So
Like a Chinese puzzle box.
I think that is it. I think that's pretty sufficient. So
yeah,
we got one more.
We have now seen like 4 different times Danny get choked out by.
I wish it was like
Viola.
a different angle each time.
Yeah. So I'm very curious and excited to watch the final episode and see what's actually.
So
happen.
prediction: is anybody coming out of this thing? I don't think so.
Maybe Flora.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe, but. Yeah.
Because we also have Owen and Jamie unaccounted for, and Henry's like
route. On his way. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Because like nearly everybody made it out of Hill House.
I'm gonna root for Jamie.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But
come on, Netflix. Come on, Mike Flanagan. Don't kill your gays.
Let the lesbian.
Don't kill your gays. Let's do
Lesbians
it.
they're sturdy people.
Yeah, that's true. She's a farmer in those clothes.
What's that from?
Clueless.
Oh,
She could be a farmer.